Imagine spending millions on advertising, only to watch your competitor dominate the market. Success in marketing is rarely about who spends more. It is about who understands the rules. The 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Ries and Jack Trout reveals timeless principles that decide whether a product thrives or fails. These laws explain why some brands rise to the top while others fade into the background. Today, we will explore all 22 laws in detail, with examples you can instantly relate to. 1. The Law of Leadership. A traveler is asked to name the first person to fly across the Atlantic. Most people answer Charles Lindbergh. Ask for the second person, and very few know. Being first in the market creates lasting memory. Leaders are remembered. Followers are forgotten. 2. The Law of the Category. A small coffee shop cannot compete with the first cafe in town. But by becoming the first organic-only cafe, it owns a new category. If you cannot be first in a field, create a new field where you can lead. 3. The Law of the Mind. People remember the first brand in their mind, not necessarily the first in the marketplace. The first computer company was not Apple, but Apple was the first to take the spot in people's minds with simplicity and design. 4. The Law of Perception. Two shoppers see the same product. One views it as premium, the other as overpriced. Reality in marketing is perception. Products succeed not because they are objectively better, but because they are perceived to be better. 5. The Law of Focus. One word can dominate an entire market. For Volvo, it is safety. For FedEx, it is overnight. Owning a single word in the customer's mind is more powerful than trying to be everything at once. 6. The Law of Exclusivity. Once a competitor owns a word, no one else can take it. If one brand owns fastest, another cannot also claim fastest. Trying to copy only strengthens the original brand. 7. The Law of the Ladder. In a hotel market, Hilton is at the top of the ladder. Others below must position themselves based on their rung. If you are not first, your strategy depends on where you stand. Each rung needs a unique message. 8. The Law of Duality. Every market eventually becomes a battle between two major players. In fast food, McDonald's and Burger King dominate. In soft drinks, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Long-term, the battle narrows to two. 9. The Law of the Opposite. A company in second place should not mimic the leader. Instead, it should position itself as the alternative. When Avis competed with Hertz, it said, "We are number 2, so we try harder." 10. The Law of Division. Markets split over time. Computers divided into desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Companies must adapt when categories divide or risk becoming irrelevant. 11. The Law of Perspective. Discounting may boost sales today, but damages long-term perception. Shoppers get used to lower prices and wait for discounts instead of paying full price. What works short-term often backfires long-term. 12. The Law of Line Extension. A soda company famous for cola launches bottled water, juice, and energy drinks under the same brand. The brand becomes diluted. Extending the line weakens the original product. Focus beats expansion. 13. The Law of Sacrifice. A restaurant that tries to serve pizza, sushi, and burgers pleases no one. Winning requires sacrifice. Focus on fewer products, fewer target markets, and fewer changes. Specialization creates strength. 14. The Law of Attributes. If a competitor owns low price, another brand can win by owning high quality. Every attribute has an opposite. Success comes from finding the opposite attribute and claiming it. 15. The Law of Candor. A brand admits a weakness, then turns it into strength. When Listerine admitted the taste you hate twice a day, it built credibility. Honesty disarms customers and builds trust. 16. The law of singularity. Marketing breakthroughs come from one bold move, not from many small efforts. Domino's focused on 30 minutes or less delivery. One big idea moves the needle. 17. The law of unpredictability. No one predicted the rise of social media or smartphones exactly as they happened. Markets cannot be predicted with certainty. The best strategy is flexibility and fast adaptation. 18. The law of success. Success often breeds arrogance. Company at the top assumes its name can sell anything. But success can blind leaders from the customer's perspective. Humility keeps brands relevant. 19. The law of failure. Most companies fear admitting failure. Yet, failure is part of marketing. The strongest brands cut losses quickly instead of wasting resources. Quitting fast is often smarter than pushing a losing idea. 20. The law of hype. When a product needs hype, it is usually already struggling. Real winners grow quietly through customer adoption, not media noise. True strength shows in sales, not in headlines. 21. The law of acceleration. Trends fade if pushed too hard. Fads die quickly when companies exploit them aggressively. Long-term growth requires patience and steady momentum. 22. The law of resources. Even the best idea will fail without resources. Marketing requires investment. Creativity opens the door, but money keeps it open. Ideas without resources remain dreams. Closing takeaway. The 22 immutable laws show that marketing is not about luck or massive budgets. It is about strategy, perception, and discipline. Following these rules can mean the difference between dominating a market or being forgotten. Your challenge: look at your product or personal brand. Ask, what one word do I own in people's minds? If the answer is unclear, that is where your focus must begin.